You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. Everybody, to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K. Trotter. And only joining me today is the one, the only, the Buster Knuckle of the RNG cast, which you can find probably by Googling that. The one, the only, Mike List.
Hey, what's going on, Tim? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I feel a little, overslept and less caffeinated, and we're recording this show like 2 hours later than we normally would, or at least how we've normally been doing it.
Yeah, how we've been swinging it.
Yeah, keeping on the streak. But I'm pretty good. Had a long work week. Saw Thor Ragnarok last night, which was the dopest, funnest Marvel movie I've seen in a long time.
It looked good. Like I didn't have a chance, being that yesterday was rent day. So well, mortgage, rent, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. However you stretch it out, it's still, you're paying money to live in the place where you live.
Well, so I mean a mortgage is a little bit different than a rent. I mean, mortgage, eventually you own it, whereas a rent, it's forever.
Yeah.
So there's slight differences there.
Subtle, but yeah, I see your point. You're thinking, which is correct as well.
Yeah,
but having to pay still sucks.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's been all right. It was fucking snowing yesterday. We've had the weirdest October in recent Washington State memory. Like, it's been like 60 and 70 degrees, which is really weird for us. And then just like yesterday out of the blue, we had snow. So it's just like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, Washington, but I feel like the Washingtonian like weather gods is just like, it's like rolling a dice, and like whatever it rolls on, it's like, all right, rain today, heat today, cold today, wind today. Like, what are we doing? They're just like, fuck it.
Everything. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain in the morning, snow in the afternoon, and then be 87 degrees by 5 p.m.
Basically, exactly. Um, yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey's been like that too, man. It's been, I think yesterday it was 30, not 30. It was like 50 something degrees. I went Fahrenheit for some strange reason because I talked to a lot of people in the UK, and today it's 68.
Hmm.
And tomorrow it's supposed to be 74, and then by the end of the week it's supposed to be down in like the mid 50s again. I'm like, hey, Earth, make up your mind, please. Just tell me what you want me to do.
Exactly. It's always funky. That is for sure. So Fork in Your Ear podcast is at this point, we're on a roll, a weekly topical podcast. Where usually, or at least in the past, more than just me and Mike do a show. But we've been doing all right on our own. So we're gonna keep doing that until other people fucking show up. And I feel I would be remiss if I didn't rag on my other co-host of my Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, Rising Tide, Nathan Wolf, who declined to do the Fork in Your Ear podcast because he was, quote unquote, watching the Nerd Super Bowl Blizzworld, I guess, event on Twitch for Blizzard games or something, because he's a Hearthstone addict. And I was like, really? You're ditching me for that? And he's like, hey man, it's only once a year. And I'm like, fine, be that way. Anyway, yeah, he's hopelessly addicted to Hearthstone, which I don't know, is a good and bad thing. Like, I love Hearthstone, but it changed the metas on it way too many times for me to keep up. And so I couldn't become competitive. Also, in advance, for any listeners who find that I might sound a little awkward, probably in the outtakes section, you'll hear me mention that part of my microphone stand broke, and it's propped up on a cardboard box that used to contain one of those Pokemon Go clickers for catching Pokemon on Pokemon Go.
The things we do for podcasting.
Pretty much. So we have no plan this week, so we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna keep up with the dice and or ring spinning. It'll be dice this week because I still can't find that fucking ring, which I should probably do because my girlfriend got that for me, and I don't know, might be sentimental or something. She'll complain about it later. I don't
know. Women love to find sentiment in things. They're just like, I bought you that when we first met, and it's like, babe, it was a Snicker bar. I know, but it was when we first met. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. If she listens to this, she's gonna give me so much shit, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. So for our anniversary, she made this like scrapbook of like the first year of like us being together, and it's like she went all out with the Michaels or the arts and crafts store or whatever arts and crafts store you have near you. Like, she super glued and hot glued this to that and the other thing. And there was a thing early on, like the first couple months of our relationship, where she was complaining that like I never like bought her flowers, which, I guess, you should do if you're with a lady, but at the same time, like, I just hadn't bought her flowers yet, And I think I was in my truck, and there's like a bunch of trash in my truck, so I like reached down onto the floor, and there was like a napkin that was like, it was like a used Starbucks napkin, like with like coffee stains and shit on it, and I sort of rolled it and then sort of toughed it out like a flower, and then I gave it to her, and she didn't say anything about it at the time, but in the scrapbook she kept it, I guess, this whole time, and she was just like, that was actually the sweetest thing ever. And I was like, sweet, bonus points for making stuff out of trash.
That's funny. Tim, the similarities between the two of us, even though we're separated by a vast distance, a whole country, is amazing because, well, I buy my Jess, by the way, we both are dating Jessicas.
Yes.
I buy my Jess flowers all the time since we've been together for 5 fucking years. If we've been together for 5 years and I haven't got her flowers yet, people will be like, hey man, that's kind of messed up. But I can make flowers out of fondant. like out of Tootsie Rolls, out of Starburst and shit like that. So I did. I did. I'm a couple times I've made her one out of like red Starburst is what I made it out of, and she kept it for so long. And we were cleaning when we were moving. I was like, babe, what's this? What's this rock? And she's like, you don't recognize that? I'm like, why is it? I'm like, is that? And she's like, yeah. That's one of the ones that you made for me. I'm like, I can make them so much better now. That was when I first started doing it. And she was like, how did you learn how to do that anyway? It like amazes me that you know. And I'm like, I don't know how I know how to do that, to be honest with you. I just can do it. It's one of those weird, like one of the weird talents, how people just have weird like superpowers, I call them. Guys can make origami flowers or whatever it is, but she kept mine too. And when we moved, she was like, I should probably throw this away. I'm like, I won't get mad if you do, because I throw everything away. She had like all the movie tickets we've ever gone to go see. I'm like, babe, this is 5 years of movies. What are you doing? She's like, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. But why are you keeping movie ticket stubs and whatnot? And she's like, well, because I thought maybe one day we could look back at this box. And I'm like, babe, just come on now. Just get rid of it.
See, I have that stuff. That's in this book. It's actually in front of me right now, sitting off to my left. And it's got only like half of the pages are filled, so like there's like more to fill up in the thing. I don't know. I think it's cute. Whatever.
It's adorable. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not a romantic. I'm a hopeless romantic. Mm-hmm. But I just don't see the point of keeping shit that's unnecessary.
Sure.
Especially when you're moving. I'm not carrying all that stuff.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, fuck, where'd that dice go? All right, so we're going to roll the dice, and we're going to see which topic we land on, even though we've basically just been talking about life stuff. But let's see what we got here. Roll the dice is life.
We'll just
fucking keep it going then. Fuck it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. There's been schizophrenic weather. I'm getting more stoked for my iPhone 10 or iPhone X, whichever way you want to call it. I've got the cases for my iPhone, but I don't have the iPhone yet. It's supposed to be sometime between like the 7th and the 27th.
Well, that's a disparaging difference, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the hot new thing. Yeah, so I got cases for it. They're sitting off to my left right now, just sitting in a box, being like, "Hey, we're ready." And I was like, "I'm ready too."
We're waiting. We're ready when you are. Damn right you are. Damn right you are.
Yeah, exactly. What are the life things?
I've been getting my Shazam on.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. Haven't missed a day yet. Me and my coworker, we are lifting buddies, and he is what I like to call a mini Hulk. He's big as shit for no reason. And then when I found out why he's so big, it makes more sense now, because he was in a coma. And they and he's like, I guess when you're in a coma, obviously you can't use your muscles, so you shrivel up a little bit. And he said he lost, I believe he said he lost 40 pounds while he was in the coma, something like that, of like muscle, some weird shit. So they gave him steroids, which is what they do when you're, in a coma to get bigger. And he just got super big from it. And I'm like, dude, that is ridiculous, man. Like, why are you so big? He's like, I've also been lifting for 6 years afterwards. I'm like, that makes more sense. But he forgets that I'm not that big. You know what I mean? And likes to lift heavier weight, like put on the heavy weights. And I'm not one to back down from a challenge, even though I probably should sometimes. And I'm sore. I'm real sore. But I'm getting my hashtag Shazam on. So we're going to keep that going.
Shazam!
Shazam!
Tune into last week's episode if you want to get that in joke, because I think we're probably going to carry it forward.
Yeah, probably.
Um,
We're gonna carry it forward.
so this is, I suppose this is technically in like technology and gaming, but it's gonna affect my life here next week. Um, so I'm out of fucking storage space on both my internal memory and my SD card for my Nintendo Switch.
Huh?
I know. So it comes with 32 gigs, and I have a 64 gigabyte card. And like I've been saying for a while now on this show that I'm looking forward to Doom, but Doom is like 19 gigs, and I got like 20 gigs left, and I still want to get Skyrim for it, and that's another 17 gigs, and
Ugh.
then LA Noir comes out on the Switch, which I'm going to get again because I don't know, because I can, but that game's 29 gigs, and so I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I have I have a storage issue because my fucking shit's full already.
Yeah, you definitely have a storage issue, sir.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not really sure what to do about it. I mean, I guess, get a bigger SD card, you know. And it's funny because I remember, a bunch of like video game sites for like, oh, get this 120 gigabyte card, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna use a 120 gigabyte card for? And now I'm like,
Found it.
fuck, I wish I had bought that 120 gigabyte card. I'm just like, shit. So it's like, I mean, and I'm also against the conundrum that presently, right now, very sadly, in the life department, I'm super fucking broke at the moment. Like, I'm horrendously broke. Like, it's not a good start to the November Tim's brokenness at the moment. And so it's like if I Amazon, I know first world problems, complain about a memory card being broke and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if I Google an SD card, like a micro SD card, which I can't spell, so I of course spelled Micah's SD card. Oh, SD card. Let's see. I'm looking at a basic bitch one on Amazon, and well, okay. I guess to get a 120 gigabyte one, it's $43. That's not bad, actually.
That's not that bad, really, if you think
No,
about it.
it's not. I'm looking at it. It says it's a thing. It's not bad. Okay, so basically, I need to scrape together another $40 to get a bigger card. But that just means that eventually that's going to get filled up too, because like the Switch ain't even out a year yet, and it's like I've already reached my peak, And it's like, yeah, I guess, because the games are on cartridges, which are basically just like fatter cards for the system. But I don't want that. I don't want a bunch of fucking, you know, cards laying about that I could lose the game on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, losing a game is the most infuriating thing because you lost it.
Especially if it's a disc game. Then you just feel like a fucking tool because you're just like, it's big. Like, what movie case? And you start
Mm-hmm.
ripping apart your DVD collection, and you're just like, where did this?
Yeah. What DVD case did I put this in? Because I was in a hurry and I needed to swap discs real quick. What happened?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's definitely, it's definitely, it's a silly problem. It's
It's a
really,
first world problem
it's
for sure.
really a fucking terrible American first world problem to be like, okay, I don't have enough space on this little piece of plastic to buy more games on. Or I've lost a disc of a game or something.
I
So,
have $60 that is somewhere in this house, and I don't know where I put it. As opposed to putting it where a responsible adult would put it, I put it, I don't know. So yeah,
where would you responsibly put $60? And also, why would you be like? Are we talking cash?
no, I don't have cash ever.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't.
I'm
I don't
I'm
do
that
that either.
guy. I don't. No, I have a card. Thank you. If I could put in an implant in my arm somehow, I would do that as well. I don't carry cash. You can get robbed for cash. I've been robbed before. I don't.
Well, you're an iPhone user. Do you ever use Apple Pay?
I do. It makes me feel like the Jetsons. It's awesome. It's fucking amazing.
uh,
When I
yeah.
see it, I'm like, yes. Tap tap. I'm out.
It's so funny because like, uh, like they've had Apple Pay and and storing cards and stuff on your phone for a while now. But like, there's something about it, like like I can put it on my Apple Watch too. But like, I don't know, I feel weird about it, and so I've never done that.
Really?
Yeah, I'll put
So
like example, like last night, like I fandangoed the tickets for Thor Ragnarok. Like I'll use that, like the QR code scanner movie ticket thing.
yeah.
Like I'll do that. I'll do that like hella. And I actually have an app called SoCard. So like all those stupid fucking reward cards and shit, like you just scan them and they become like a digital version. You can just whip them out on your phone. So I don't have to carry around all those fucking plastic cards in my wallet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend it if you got like a bunch of fucking reward cards. Because like as opposed to being like, do you have a rewards card? And you're like, I don't fucking know, and you gotta like
Mm.
fucking dig through your wallet. You're just like, yes, I do. Let me pull it up on my phone.
Or pull out your keys.
Yeah, or the fucking
That
yeah.
gets on my nerves after a while. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, I can't. No. I'll refuse a card after a while because I'm like, I got my gym membership on the card, like on my keys. I have like Sam's Club on my keys. I have my badge for work on my keys. I'm like, I can't do it. You can't make me. Well, you
Wow.
have a rewards? No. Do you have a normal card? No, we don't. What?
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, getting my swell on, 5 years, flowers. Life is pretty good, man. I can't really complain other than being absolutely broke like everybody else. I mean,
Well, and I feel like probably for most people, it's that time of year to be really broke.
yeah, it's
You
getting
know,
close.
and I don't know about you, but like all those like yearly shit things that you pay
Mm-hmm.
for like a year, like all that stuff. I don't know, stupidly, I need to like get it changed or something. They stupidly happen for me in like November and December. Like I think my Xbox Live is coming up, my PlayStation Network thing is coming up,
Oh, bummer.
and probably I don't know, there's probably a bunch of other yearly things that I've probably forgotten about. Probably like um uh
Amazon Prime.
oh shit, yeah, and Amazon Prime's probably in there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Although I'll be honest, Amazon Prime definitely pays its worth, I
Oh,
think,
for sure.
over all of the services, you know? And I mean,
Yeah.
and I guess Netflix just raised their rates by like $2 or whatever.
Yeah, but they're also with Netflix raising their rates. I mean, we could probably say this for entertainment, but we can talk about this as well because it is a part of life.
It
I
affects
mean,
life. It's money.
Netflix is life,
And
right?
I'm poor right now.
Uh, they went from making 8 feature films a year to making 80.
Yeah, don't forget all the TV shows too.
Yeah, and all the dope TV shows. So, I mean, yeah, it's worth it, I guess. I'll spend $12. I mean, I do have Hulu and Amazon Prime and Netflix. I mean, I don't even know if I have. Oh, and Crunchyroll. God, I
Mm.
have a problem.
Well, I mean, I have Netflix. I have HBO. I have CBS All Access for Star Trek. Um, what else do I have? I mean, I buy a lot of shows through iTunes. Um, yeah. I don't know. Everything costs money.
Yeah,
That's life. And it would be great if we all had more money.
yeah, that's true.
I guess. Um, yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't have a whole lot to say about life because like I had an amazing adventure last week
Mm-hmm.
or 2 weeks before that so that I could talk about it on the podcast. And it's like I don't got anything. Nothing.
We got nothing.
I'm working. I'm broke. Um did I talk about um the dash lights on my my truck going out?
Think you did.
I feel like it
I
did. Well, they're still out, and I still have like, so I have like a USB LED like book light thing coming out of a cigarette adapter to like sort of shine light on my gauges. And then I have a 9-volt powered LED light to shine on my my speedometer. And it feels pretty ghetto. Like, I mean, it works. Like, it costs no money, except
Yeah.
for whatever 9-volt battery costs, So I guess I'll keep doing that.
And being broke, it kind of, you kind of don't want to spend money on because fixing your car is expensive in general.
Yeah. Well, yes. That's one thing in my life that has gotten cheaper this year. Because the employee in my company, he's like a master mechanic. Yeah. So it's like buy the parts and pay him the time. That's way cheaper.
Nice.
So that's nice. I mean, but on the other hand, he's only one guy. So sometimes you get like my truck, like success. It makes heat again in the cab, which I need for winter. But now my dash lights don't work. So, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
I feel like we should change topics because this one has died.
Yeah, a slow death.
Alrighty, let's see what we got here. All right, well, that's a 1 again. That's still life. Stop it, dice roll. It's a 7. What's 7? 7 is gaming. There we go. Good old gaming. Finally, we get gaming earlier for once.
Yeah.
In this thing. So what have you been gaming?
Oh man, lately? You should probably know this answer already.
I assume Destiny 2.
I've been on Destiny 2. I downloaded Fortnite.
Yeah, have you checked it out yet?
I have not because I don't want to be the one person against 99 other people. I think I'd rather play with at least have one other person backing me up to help me run through it. Mm-hmm. I watched a lot of videos of it. It looks like it's going to be right up my alley.
Yeah. Well, we should play a game right after this then.
I'm down for that.
We should definitely do that because I totally wanted to do that last weekend with you, but then it's just, timelines and you had to download it and stuff.
My brother came over and I haven't seen my brother in a while.
Nice.
That actually could be, I could have added that to life, but I didn't I forgot all about the
I don't give a fuck. So go for it.
The story of how he met his girlfriend is a rom-com. It really is because he's a respiratory therapist. He does like the intubations, like he puts the breathing tube into people and he helps people breathe, basically.
Okay.
Which is a really cool job for him. I'm super proud of my brother for being damn near a doctor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that requires like a nurse degree or some shit, right?
Yeah, I think too. Well, sort of. Not really a nursing degree, but
you still had to go to med school or something for it, right?
Yeah, very similar. He's
RN or something like that.
Yeah, close to an RN basically. Yeah. His girlfriend is the same. Like she does the same thing. They met at a conference. She is a severe asthmatic.
Okay.
He was talking to her. He just got out of a relationship that was pretty toxic. Whatever. Not going too deep into that. He met the girl. She's really cool. They hit it off at a conference, and he remembers meeting her before. And the story goes. Now, if you can just picture this as like a slow pan through the events, they're talking. He notices her breathing is a little hazard, like a little haggard, like she's wheezing, she's like slow to catch up, her words are staggered and whatnot. And he said, I could tell there was something wrong, but she said she was okay. Well, long story short, she has a seizure.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And he stays with her. And she's I think she was in the hospital for 3 days because she kept having seizures.
Oh no.
And he wouldn't leave her. And he said every time she would go into like REM sleep is when it would happen. and they're talking, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He's like, it's fine, I'm not going to leave you, it's okay, like, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're dating and everything's great. Now when he was telling me the story, we went out for dinner and we had sushi and whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. But when he was telling me the story, I started laughing. He was like, what's up? And I'm like, just picture what you just told me. Now listen to the song Roll Over Me in your head and picture the events. And I'm like, it's like a trailer for a movie. And he's like, what's Roll Over Me? I'm like, look into your heart, pretty baby. Is it that one? And he's like, dude, it is. I'm like, yeah, you guys are like a rom-com. And he's like, holy shit, man. But, and he just applied for a job working for the Children's Hospital. We have it's CHOP is what we call it, the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania. And his job, now tell me if this isn't the coolest job in the world. Not only is he going to help kids, but he's on the air crew. So he's going to be in a helicopter getting kids from like all over the world. They said the farthest they've ever gone in a helicopter is Australia.
Yeah, I believe that. Because Children's Hospital is a huge network. We have a Children's Hospital here.
Yeah.
In Seattle. And there's actually a story related to Children's Hospital saving my mom's life when she was like 6. But it's also kind of story that I should probably ask her for permission to talk on the air. But needless to say, something bad happened when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And like Children's Hospital, even back, whenever my mom was a kid, was like the only ones who could like help her out. You know what I mean? Because like the type of thing that occurred was like, it's like really brutal, basically. But yeah, I'll check in with my mom on that, and we'll see about bringing that up next week as a Children's Hospital thing.
Yeah, we'll touch on this next week after permission. I figured my brother wouldn't really care, considering no one knows who he is really. But yeah, it's a very rom-com type thing, and he's super happy, which makes me as an older brother happy, So
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some like really great romantic comedy type like love story situation things, like I've had some of them in the past myself, and yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, that was great.
Gaming.
Yeah, back to gaming. So I guess the I don't know. I don't know the actual release date, but I've read and watched a bunch of video reviews of the Xbox One X, which is the new super powered Xbox console that's also backwards compatible with Xbox One. And it seems like most people are pretty happy with it. And I was actually listening to a podcast on IGN where they were talking to the Microsoft marketing guy, and they were talking about when the Xbox One X became an idea, and I guess it started all the way back in like the 360 era of like doing like a quadruply powerful same version of the console for enthusiasts. And I guess there's a lot, I don't know, it's a very interesting thing because he was talking about how Xbox One X was like really early in the development cycle. They were talking about it like before the Xbox One was even out, I guess. So it was just interesting that they'd had that long a timeline, because Xbox One's only been around since what? 2013, 2014, something like that.
Yeah, I want to say yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not an Xbox player, so I think the last time I played Xbox was I think 360. No, yeah,
like everybody.
Yeah, like everybody. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't get the One or the One X or nothing like that. So
I mean,
I'm sorry, the first Xbox.
Yeah.
The very, very first, the brick.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. And I bring it up now because since it's out in the wild, and I guess it is, I guess it's like super hyper developer friendly. And I also bring it up because so my girlfriend was getting birthday presents and stuff for her little brother who just started college, like on the other side of the state, and so she was like, okay, well, I'll pick him up. He wants the new Assassin's Creed Origins. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And so I get this text, and it's a picture, and there's 2 copies of Assassin's Creed Origins. And sort of Assassin's Creed Origins is sort of it's the new hot game that has Xbox One X enhancements out of the box, like 4K 60 frames a second HDR, looks apparently just like graphics glorylicious, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I have these fights. They're not really fights. They're more like nerd video game arguments with her, because I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer. Even though I own an Xbox One, this particular generation PlayStation has really won the side to me. And so she's like, well, I got the new Assassin's Creed, and I've been looking at it, and it's been well reviewed, and it looks like a good game, and I'm a big Assassin's Creed guy. And I was just like, well, why would you do that? Like, we don't have a 1X. And then she's like, I know. And I was like, but me, like, now that it exists in a disc,
I have to get it.
Yeah. Like, it's like you're superliminally asking me to go get a 1X. And I'm like, babe, I don't even have a 4K TV, man. Like, and I have a PS4 Pro. Like, if anybody should have a 4K TV, it should be fucking me. You know what I'm saying? And
that's
she's
funny.
like, he's like, oh, well, maybe you'll just have to get a Xbox One X. And I was like, are you doing this because you fucking hate PlayStation? And she's like, maybe. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like, what are you doing?
I don't have any friends on the Xbox. What are you doing?
I mean, I got friends, but just, most of them, either they're real life friends and I still play occasional Xbox One games with them, or everybody else moved to PlayStation, which is more or less the case. So I don't know. Like, and I guess the other part that's annoying about it is, even though I'm a big Assassin's Creed guy, I didn't finish Black Flag. I never played Rogue. I played half of Unity. I own Syndicate, but have never played it. And so there's like all these like main Assassin's Creed games that I haven't fucking beat yet. And I feel like a little like tug at the back of my thing, like, oh man, you haven't beat these main franchise games. Like, how can you really play Assassin's Creed Origins? So I'm just like, gosh
how dare you, Tim?
Gosh darn it, Jessica. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Like, I don't know. Like, I suppose my situation is somewhat unique because, like, my girlfriend plays video games. But
pretty unique. She's
an Xbox person, and like when she's over at my house, I do have 2 PlayStation 4s, but only because I bought PlayStation Pro. And it's like, okay, well, I can distract her by playing Horizon Zero Dawn, or she's working on Mass Effect Andromeda right now, which is great that she's getting into that franchise. But it's like, I don't know. Like, is this, I'm thinking about it future-wise. Like, am I gonna, like, always be buying 2 consoles? Like, at all times? You know what I mean? Like
that can be quite costly.
Because, yeah, that's fucking expensive, And I'm trying to figure out how to scrape together money for a $40 fucking SD card. So I'm like, I don't know what to do about that one, because it's like we can't play. I don't know. It's a weird thing because it's like, if she's playing Andromeda, like, she's further in it than I am. So I'm like, I don't want to know the story because it's, a very story heavy game. Like, I can't look over, and so it's like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. And I don't know. I guess that seems like the ideal solution is just have 2 consoles and, like, I don't know, do it that way or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying that she is a predominantly an Xbox fan, I mean, getting an Xbox could help keep her out of your. I'm not saying she's in your hair because I know you listen,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I mean. Like it could definitely help her gaming because then you could be able to play your game as she's playing her game. Because I mean, my Jessica's not a gamer. The only game she plays, I mean, she does have a DS,
Mm-hmm.
and she is like a Pokemon fan and.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Animal Crossing, is that the game she played? Yeah, I want to
Oh
say that's the
yeah.
game. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the game
So
she
I
plays.
have a
So
thing to say about that because there's a new Animal Crossing coming out.
I
Have you ever
don't
played
get
it?
it.
Have you ever played
No,
it, Animal Crossing?
no, I've seen her play it though, and I don't get it.
And that's fine because it looks stupid as shit. But that's how it gets you. Like, so the best way to describe Animal Crossing is it's like a little bit of like Sim City meets like sort of like an RPG handling towns problem mechanic
Hmm.
meets dashes of Harvest Moon. And it all has an on purpose like cheap sort of paper cutout looking art style.
Yeah.
But they are sin incarnate and they will suck years of your life out of your body like a dementor. Like they're so profoundly simple and stupid and good, which is also kind of a Nintendo staple, but they're fucking addicting. And like the premise of the game is you move to a new town and there's this bastard raccoon called Tom Nook. And the currency in the game is bells. And he's just like, "Oh, cool. Your house is all set up. By the way, I've hoodwinked the bank and now you owe me like 10 billion bells. So you better work your ass off to pay me back, bitch." And he's like this little criminal, right? But that's like the premise of the game is like you're like chopping down trees and you're like raising forests and you're helping townspeople. You're decorating wallpaper in your house to like pay off this mortgage that you've basically gotten stuck with from this fucking raccoon bastard. And it's just addicting as fuck.
It's
And
pretty dark. It sounds fucking dark. It's
it's a little
distortion.
dark. Yeah, it is literally extortion. Like
Yeah.
that is the game. Um but one of the cool aspects about it is everything is done in real time. So unlike a Harvest Moon game or something like that, like where it's like, oh, you have a day night cycle and it's like 2 hours or whatever in real time. It's like, oh, if you want to catch that special fish or whatever in the lake that only appears at 3 fucking a.m., you have to get your ass up at 3 a.m. and catch that fish or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
I'm well
it's
aware.
that kind of game. And
She's
it's
asked me several times to wake her up when I get home from work because I get home from work around 3 o'clock. She's like, "Babe, I need you to wake me up because the art resets and I gotta identify the counterfeit." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she's like, "There's this guy and he has like this art thing and I have to and there's paintings and I have to identify which one is counterfeit. So I need your help because I know you like art." And I'm like, "Babe, do you realize what you just said to me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I never want to hear you complain about me getting up for reset or to go see what Zer has again." And she's like, "Yeah, but that's different." I'm like, "It's not different.
Yeah, it's
It's
right. It's
not.
absolutely
It's
not different.
100% not different. You're asking me to wake you up, one, wake you up at 3 a.m., two, to identify counterfeit art in a game on a Nintendo handheld system.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm really good at it, so that's
Yeah,
the only
well, you're gonna hate what's coming out at the end of the month then.
fuck me."
So it's Animal Crossing for your phone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so as opposed to the regular Animal Crossing, it's you and you're in like a campground. And so it's like you like decorating your tent and it's all real world. There's transactions galore and it's gonna destroy relationships. Just like I'm just calling it right now. Like there's gonna be memes and gifs and shit on Reddit and whatnot after this game comes out about like girlfriends like stealing cash to like turn them into iTunes gift cards or whatever so that they can buy more bells or whatever the fuck it is that you're gonna buy in this game. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna be brutal. So, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I know. On your phones. I mean, and honestly, because the game is like the main game is very with the exception that, you buy it once, like the whole game is basically microtransactions, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the name of the game. And now they have a game that is that but with real money. So, um, you know,
Mm.
good
Babe,
luck
I
with
need
that.
you to sign up for overtime. Why? I gotta get bells to buy this wallpaper. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Yeah. That's 100% what's going to happen, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's happening. It's happening. And it's
I
just,
can't stop it.
yeah.
It's a midnight train to Georgia, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, man. Oh, man. So that's coming later this month. Let's see. So you've been gaming Destiny and anything else?
I've been playing Paladins like always.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get into Overwatch. I can watch people play Overwatch, but I can't get into it. It's too, I don't know, kitschy for me. A lot of people say that about Paladins. I enjoy the humor because Paladins is kind of funny. Each guy has a new. Everybody has like funny joke lines and stuff like that. It's tomato is how I look at it. It's a hero shooter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
downloaded Fortnite. Been waiting to play it. Probably,
Yep.
like you said, play it. We'll play this tonight when we get off
Yeah.
this recording. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Like we went over this. I don't have a lot of games. I don't really get into a lot of games because I don't have time. So I keep my gaming really streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm playing 3 games is kind of amazing. But it's very good for my pockets because the games I have are free.
Yeah, for sure.
Except for Destiny, which isn't free.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't buy. I don't get silver. I don't do that.
I've totally spent money on silver on both Destiny 1 and 2.
I have. I have bought silver in Destiny 1, but not in Destiny 2 because they give you bright engrams when you level up. So it's just play the game. It's easier for me this way.
And not to retread probably what you talked about this morning when you recorded the RNG cast for your team. I assume you're stoked for Curse of Osiris on December 5th.
God, am I ever?
I am the most hyped I have ever been for a Destiny thing because I've been waiting for that shit since I heard rumors about it in Destiny 1. And also all the shit that Bungie developer told me.
What gets me hyped is the fact that Osiris, getting into Destiny lore here, the speaker sent my man Saint 14 to go after Osiris. So there's a possibility that we will see or get a glimpse or hear about Saint 14 more, which is my favorite thing in Destiny because I am a defender main in Destiny 1. And the fact that they made Osiris look so dope.
Yeah, he looks really good.
So amazing. I'm excited. I mean, there is a big salt content right now in Destiny. In the Destiny community, it's very divisive. People think, "Oh, Destiny 1 was better. Oh, Destiny 2 is better." And I'm like, "You're thinking about member berries here, folks. You're thinking about all the good. You're not remembering the bad."
Yeah,
which happens. It's nostalgia. Nostalgia is a very powerful emotion. We did talk about that actually today. But yeah, I'm super hyped. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm glad it's coming out really soon. Actually, that's really good because I mean, it's what was it, September 6th? Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah,
so it's like September, October. That's 2 months.
Yeah,
2 months. Like that's amazing. I mean, we all know that it's been being worked on by High Moon Studios and it's been being worked on for the last 4 years. But it's still good. That'll be. And if it is as big as the Bungie guy I talked to several months ago claimed it will be, like, I think we'll all be very happy well into the new year.
And not to mention, just as a little thing to you, Tim, our clan's almost rank 4, so we can get the fellas. Yeah, we can get the fellas in. We can definitely bust it up to 6 before the reset.
When is the reset?
When Curse of Osiris comes out.
Yeah, there's still time. I mean, there's still all November.
Yeah, I mean, if
The
we're ranked
one
4, we can
thing
get
that
it.
has me a little bit skeptical and a little worried though is the line on the like the official press release that says new raid activities. Like I don't know, it doesn't necessarily say new raid, which has me
Mm-hmm.
bothered. Which I really just don't like. There's a lot of people who are like, well, they're gonna like expand the Leviathan or something, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Nope.
I don't want that at all. Like, I don't. I'm so done with the Leviathan. Um, and I know my opinion on the Leviathan has soured greatly since its launch, which is the raid in Destiny 2. Um, but that's just because, in comparison to Destiny 1, it's just not. I mean, I had more fun on Crotas, to be honest.
I brought up the fact today. I mean, there might be some overlap, but people like to hear game talk anyway.
Sure.
Would you be okay if in Curse of Osiris they take us back to the vault?
If they take us back to the Vault of Glass, well, so first of all, in the trailer, in like the dissections that people have done online, it 100% looks
Like the
like
Templar room.
you're running around in the Vault of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it's just like a mission there, I would still be okay with it. If it's like a new, like, not remixed version of the Vault of Glass raid, but like it's a new version or whatever, or like, as opposed to going through the vault door in the right to Atheon's room, you like go to the left off to that one portal gate or whatever, like way out in the dark, and you went
Yeah.
somewhere different. I would be 100% okay with that as well. But here's the thing. So I don't know if you know this or if you and Dez ran across this, but I guess people have looked into the sound files of Destiny 2 PC,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a epic shit ton of voice clips, like, and it's hella spoilerly for any potential future Destiny content, because it's like recorded lines of like Ikora and Cade and all of those guys. Like, have you heard of this?
I mean, obviously anything on PC can be data mined, so I know that that's possible. I haven't heard of any of the lines in particular, but I'm quite sure that, yeah, all the assets are there just hidden. I mean,
Okay. I
we
mean,
live
do you?
we live in a world where I can look up the entire season 8 of Game of Thrones if I wanted to. That's
Yeah,
how I look at
it's
it.
true. It's true. I mean, do you want me to talk about that for a second?
Uh, yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, so somebody should skip forward like 10 minutes or whatever, because I'm going to talk
Yes.
about these voice clips that were found in the Destiny 2 uh, voice clip files, and
Spoiler
it's
warning,
one of two
5.
things. It's either left on the cutting room floor voice files for some reason, which doesn't seem likely, but given the way Destiny 1's development went, maybe likely as well. But more likely, since it references Curse of Osiris stuff and beyond, it may just be in there because that's when they could get the voice lines for the actors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, spoiler alert, or at least maybe spoiler alerts. We don't know yet. Here we go. Spoiler alert.
5.
So in these voice files, they reference the death of Cade 6, which is the big one. And they talk about going back to Venus, back to Mars, back to the Cosmodrome. They don't mention the moon, but they mention like all the other
The
Destiny
dre-
one's
yeah,
location. They mentioned the Dreadnought and going back there and having to put a stamper on like New Hive that are coming out of some portal from there. It mentions going to what seems like either a planet or a ship, like called the Grimordion, something like that. And they reference one other planet that's got a funny name too, or at least we think it's a planet. It references Osiris. It references going to the lighthouse. It references just a epic ton of potential future stuff, which is both exciting and a little scary because, as a lot of fans have theorized, like if they do kill Cade 6, like what if like the opening of Curse of Osiris is Cade 6 gets fucking killed by Osiris, and you're going on a hunt for Osiris because you're like he just killed, you know, the fan favorite of the game. Let's hunt that bitch down, you know. But
Yeah.
you know, we also know Curse of Osiris is going to deal with time travel for sure. So maybe Cade does die, but then time travel, we fix it or something. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible.
I mean, yeah, because they show in the breakdown, they do show the lighthouse in where we left it in Destiny 1, because the lighthouse, for those that didn't know, or where you went when you went Flawless and Trials. And apparently the lighthouse is a new social space in this.
Yeah, which makes sense since it was supposed to have been a social space for Destiny 1, but got cut.
Also returning, which is a possible, Cade might die and then be replaced for a brief time, is the hunter from Rise of Iron that was in the Iron Temple.
Yeah. One of the Iron Lord guys, right?
He wasn't an Iron Lord, but he was there. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. People who actually played Destiny 2 or deep into it are like, come on, his name is this, but he's in it too, and he is a hunter, so he could replace Cade for a brief time.
Yeah.
I actually did hear about that. I thought about returning to the Dreadnought, because Savathun is a thing.
Yep.
Which is one of Oryx's sisters.
Yep.
And they mention her. She is in the game a shit ton. Her name is seen everywhere. And that's usually a precursor to one of them showing, because before Oryx showed up and before Crota showed up, we saw in Destiny the Sword of Crota and the Will of Oryx. So expect to see Savathun soon.
I guess. Yeah.
Wordplay.
Whether that's a big expansion boss or that's a new strike boss, who knows? Who knows?
My thinking is it'll be, because we've already know the 2 DLCs are the Curse of Osiris, which is Vex, and then the next one is the Warmind, which will probably have to do with the Fallen, and Siva will probably make
Rasputin. Yeah, I imagine Siva will return.
Yes, and then typically there's a third DLC which is rather large. And last year it was the Taken King.
But here's the thing:
Rise of Iron first,
we don't know how that's going to be, and B, if what the Bungie guy said is true about Curse of Osiris being bigger than the Taken King, it's possible Curse of Osiris will be the big one, and then we'll get a smaller one with Rasputin, maybe maybe larger than House of Wolves or something like that. And then
I'm
maybe
100% okay with that.
And then maybe we'll get yet another big one, like maybe October or something next year. Like who knows? Who knows what the thing is? But all we know for sure is that there's multiple big AAA studios working on Destiny DLC content. So, anyways,
the future is bright.
Yeah. So other than that, I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey, because that came out. And it's fantastic, and the whole your hat is possessed by a ghost, and then being able to possess other things is fucking wacky and awesome, and I love it. And then overall, like most Nintendo things, it's just a very good game. I think I've been on record here. I do not like 2D Mario games. I think they are crap in comparison to Sonic the Hedgehog 2D games. And I stand by that fucking statement. Witches, come at me. Or people to burn me at the stake, come at me. But I do love the 3D Mario games. And Super Mario Odyssey is really fantastic. And I'm still having a ton of fun playing it. And it's just really great to pick up, get a couple of... you collect power moons in this game. Ride around as a T-Rex, or, a remote control car, or enemies from the game, Goombas or whatever. It's just been a lot of fun. I still haven't beaten it yet. I'm still unlocking new stages, which is great. It's a ton of fun.
That's cool.
I randomly picked up the Mummy, that I guess is sort of a quasi tie-in to the new 2017 Mummy reboot. I picked up the Mummy Demastered, which is a funny title in its own right. And it's a 2D 16-bit sprite-based Metroidvania game. And I think I've talked every fucking week on Fork of Years since we've been back. I've been playing Metroid Zero Mission. I've been playing Axiom Verge, and they're both Metroidvania games. One an actual Metroid game, and this game is very Metroidvania. Like it's fucking great, actually. I watched some reviews because none of the big sites were covering it, apparently. And I'm having a ton of fun with it. Like it plays like a Metroidvania game. The hook on this game, though, is if you die, I guess you get reincarnated, and then you have to go find yourself on the map with none of the gear that you acquired throughout the game, and beat yourself and kill yourself to get your gear back.
Wow.
I've only read about this mechanic and seen it in like videos and stuff when I was researching whether or not I wanted to get the game. Because I don't know, I guess I'm just that boss of the game. I haven't died yet. Because I've heard a lot of reviewers complaining that it was like too hard, and I'm just like, well, I haven't died yet, so you know, I mean, I won't lie, I've gotten close. And health is more scarce in this game. It's a little more I guess Dark Souls-y in that aspect. But the weapons are cool. Upgrades are neat. The art style is fucking fantastic. It's very like it's definitely 16-bit, but like the studio who made it, Way Forward, is well known for making 2D games. Like they do the Shantae games, and they've made and helped out on a lot of other 2D properties over the years. They're very good at making 2D games. And like the art design team, like they just went fucking batshit bananas with the art. Like it's 16-bit art, but it's so fucking fluid. It's like it might as well be fucking animation, you know, like an animated type of, you know, thing.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very good. And control's good. And then the biggest surprise actually is the music of the game. Which is done by an artist called Monomer. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. He's actually out of Seattle, Washington, which is nearby me. But he does, like, the music is so like fucking headbanging, rocking. Like it's chiptune plus 80s synth plus like rock and roll bass lines and drums. And it creates this fusion that I'm just like, I'm fucking getting pumped, man. Like, if I was like going for a run, like I would run to this music because it's like it's fucking good. And I encourage people to check out his music because I just bought all of his albums last night. He's only got a couple on iTunes. And they're just, you know, I mean, if you like chip tunes plus 80 cents plus like rock and roll bass lines and drums, like he's got a nice little special something going on there where it feels nostalgic, but it's new and it's tasty, I guess. Like it's a well balanced musical meal right there. So I've actually been rocking out to that. Probably actually more than I've played the game at this point. Like the music's really fucking good. Like seriously, check it out.
Spoken like a true audiophile. You just referred to sound as a meal.
Hey, you know, some meals, you know, okay, so like I'm a big Hans Zimmer fan, and right before this show came on, his Live in Prague concert series came out. Like, so Hans Zimmer, famous Hollywood composer, done everything from Gladiator to Man of Steel to Batman v Superman to Inception to the Dark Knight trilogy to Spider-Man to all the Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, he's a fucking ninja. He gets around, you know, so much to the point where much like John Williams' music, you know, of Star Wars fame, people will be like, oh, the score for this movie is too Zimmer-like or whatever, because he's just done so many movies, and he's been so influential. But anyway, he's been doing touring for a while now, like the last 4 years. And I've had some bootleg stuff, and it's like, it's the music from like The Dark Knight and all those movies that I've mentioned, but it's like amped up, and like the arrangement is different, and it's like fucking awesome and like pumping and like really cool. And so now there's a there's both an album and a full HD 2.5 hour video of I mean it's called Live in Prague, so it's the Prague
concert.
Yeah, concert, I guess. And so I'm actually really looking forward to listening and watching that because like I really, I mean I appreciate fucking music as an art form, and it's great, and I think he's great. And I don't know why I got off on that tangent. Oh, because you said delicious meal. I was saying, like his concerts and his type of music, it's like a delicious meal. Usually. So it's like, yeah,
I get it, man. I get it.
Fuck. Have I been playing anything else besides Mario? And I don't. I mean, I've played some Fortnite, and last weekend, I bought it's like $23. I bought the PvE version of Fortnite, which is like the main game with a campaign. And I'm enjoying it, but it's like compared to Battle Royale, which me and you are gonna play after this show, like it's the same controls and everything like that, but there's like so many menus and depth, and instead of loot boxes, it has loot pinatas that you beat the shit out of, which is kind of a nice touch, honestly. And there's like so many like crafting and missions, and there's like the PvE is like, I mean, I guess I expected it to be a little simpler, and it's like it's really I'm almost a little overwhelmed. Like there's a lot of fucking systems there in comparison to how streamlined Battle Royale is. But I've been playing it a bunch. I know my PSN peoples, who are also part of my Destiny clan, they've gotten really into it to the point where they're like so outstrip me in levels and building materials and stuff. And like you have like a main base basically you build, and you like go out into the world and you're like fighting zombies and stuff. But I guess when you're in a team, other people can make shit in your base. And so I was in a party, and they were sort of leading me along because they'd been playing all day and knew the ropes, and I didn't. And one of the guys made like a giant swastika on top of my base. And I'm like, oh, well, that's just fucking great. Thanks for that. Like, so I got to figure out how to tear down my base and destroy this swastika. And anyway, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I haven't really. I feel like I haven't played a whole lot of video games this week, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's some weeks that you do, and there's some weeks you don't, right? Like that's just how being an adult in life is.
Was fucking gay and stupid, and I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. The only thing I'm looking forward to this upcoming year, 2018, obviously, is what I'm referring to, is because I've been at my job for 3 years. Yeah, I know, pretty ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get 2 weeks of vacation as opposed to 1.
Nice.
So I'll be able to dedicate a lot more time into gaming. And I was speaking with my Jessica about when I should take my time, and she goes, I don't know, whenever you want. Not helpful, babe.
Yeah, it's not helpful.
Listen, if any ladies listening, if your husband, boyfriend, whatever, significant other, life partner, whatever you want to refer to them as, asks you for input, just for fuck's sake, give them input. We want to know, because the one thing we don't want to hear is, oh, I was hoping. Well, help us.
Yeah.
Help us.
It's very true. It's very true.
I'm gonna roll that dice and see where we're
I
at.
guess so. That's a 6. All right, entertainment. So I guess the big sad news of the week is you ever watch House of Cards?
I have. I was gonna bring this up.
Okay, sweet. I feel like we're probably on the same page then. So House of Cards, which will also be the last season of House of Cards, will not have Kevin Spacey at all, as he's just been cut from Netflix due to multiple sexual allegations of him making sexual advances on usually young men of the cast, apparently. And this is in conjunction to. Did we bring this up last week too?
No, I think we mentioned Harvey Weinstein, but we didn't talk about it.
So last week there was a sexual allegation from one of the main cast members of the new Star Trek Discovery, who claimed that when he was like 18 or whatever, Kevin Spacey made sexual harassment advances towards him.
Tim, 14.
Huh? 14?
He was 14.
Whatever.
He said
he was young. Whatever. The guy's like 40 now, so it's like, come on. And so then that was a big deal, and then Kevin Spacey officially apologized for that, and then also came out as currently gay, although having been bisexual, I guess, which is fine and whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever, Kevin Spacey can do whatever the fuck he wants. But the sexual allegations like put a real crimp into. I guess they had started development on season 6 of House of Cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then they paused development indefinitely while they looked into the claims against Kevin Spacey. And then I guess they found that there was one sexual allegation that they handled within the production of House of Cards in season 1 that I guess he did. And then they found 5 others. And then I guess it must have been enough to merit that he actually did these things. And they were very bad, I guess. Because they fucking dropped him. They dropped the main fucking character of House of Cards from House of Cards. Which is A, bold, B, I guess good, since, it means Netflix cares about its, cast and crews and actors, and obviously that shit, shouldn't be going on. And, I mean, we don't know the extent what Kevin Spacey did or didn't do, but it must have been bad. And it's kind of a hard thing, because, like, I've personally always kind of liked Kevin Spacey as an actor, and I definitely liked him in House of Cards. And with that thing against the Star Trek Discovery guy when he was 14, when he was a kid, he said that was like 30 years ago, and I deeply apologize for all this stuff. And he had a big, very nice statement about it. But now more stuff has come out about it, and it's just like, Jesus. I guess Kevin Spacey's ass just got nailed to a wall, and that's not, that's probably not good for him in the remainder of his career, But I don't know, it's kind of a hard thing to do, because it's like, as a fan of that actor and what he's done, it's like, well, I'm sad that, this is happening on him. And then, but at the same time, I'm also like, well, but what did he actually do? Like, how bad was it? Like, is he a monster? Is he not a monster? Like, we don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, if the kid was 14, that's kind of monstery on its own, because it's a 14-year-old kid. I mean, my son is almost 13, and I'm going to be honest with you. If I found out that a full-grown man tried to lay on my son, you're not going to like what's happening to you. So as a father, I can say that it's a monstery thing to do. The fact that the guy waited 30 years kind of seems a little screwy, but whatever. I mean, the whole name is Bill Cosby. People wait a long time because of shame and all that. We're not saying anything. We're not condemning anybody. We're not siding. I'm not siding with Bill Cosby. He's a fucking monster. Fuck you, Fat Albert. That kind of thing. Harvey Weinstein. That's kind of a dirtbag thing. That's a little monstery too. But my thinking on that whole with Harvey Weinstein is the people who came out might have been the people that didn't get famous. I mean, there were some famous people, but how many women did it just to get ahead,
Yeah, and I'm not trying to beat up on anybody on whether anybody did or didn't do, but my Jessica has said to me, it seems kind of strange that out of nowhere there's this huge months of sexual harassment specifically against women in Hollywood. And there's like so many, it's like a train, and it's building momentum on Twitter. And she personally, has told me that, she calls kind of bullshit on that as a whole. She's like, yeah, maybe some people do it, and then everybody else is just jumping on the fucking train to be popular and to, be like that. And while it's true that Harvey Weinstein is, or I guess the guy and his company, the Weinstein Corporation, is like one of the biggest Hollywood people or players, I guess, in the game. And they dealt with tons and tons of movies and tons of actors all over the years. and the head from the top down, I guess he's a bad dude. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's a thing, and it's Hollywood being Holly weird as they are. And it definitely sucks, and sexual harassment, is no joke, but at the same time, it's, you can't have like, I mean, I agree with my Jessica in that, like, yeah, probably some or at least half of it is true, but that many people, that doesn't seem plausible to me. That
Mm-hmm.
like Harvey Weinstein, who's probably an old dude, you know, like people didn't, make suits against him or something. You know what I mean?
Well, in his contract, actually with Miramax, it says that for the first suit, it's 250K, and then every other it goes up 250K. So it makes it seem like they were aware that he's a dirtbag.
Who, Harvey Weinstein or
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Spacey? Yeah,
No, Harvey Weinstein.
yeah.
And I mean, and with the whole Kevin Spacey thing, now people are coming out like I always knew. I've heard I've heard that he was kind of a dirtbag doing that kind of things, and then it, like for me when I see that, I'm like, why didn't you say anything then? Back then, why didn't you say anything? Now you're coming out the dog pile on him, and it's like. I know we don't talk about politics or religion on these casts. That's
Yeah.
the general rule of podcasting. But it seemed like that's the anger du jour. You know what I mean? To get angry and just dogpile like, oh, there's weakness. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Well,
Put the knife in deeper. You know?
I think that's, as a whole, in particularly this very sort of charged atmosphere 2017, I think that's happened in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think of, not to go into specifics, but when I think of like how, the different sides of the political election have gone, and a thing in our own, I mean, I don't know necessarily I'd call podcasting our industry, since neither of us makes a terrible lot of money off of this. And by terrible, I mean I make zero money off of this.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I know for Kind of Funny with Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty, who were
God.
of IGN fame, and then Colin Moriarty made a joke on Women's Day or whatever earlier in the
Yeah.
year, and then like the whole fucking internet flamed him for being like a sexist, right? And he's a guy who's been in journalism and games media for a very, very long fucking time. And then the next day he announces that he has left Kind of Funny, which is the it's more or less the big media version of what we do on Fork of Your Ear. And he'd left his own company. And then, and sort of badly for Kind of Funny, they didn't talk about it for 2 months. And then two
Yeah.
months later, they had a full podcast where they answered like all the questions and stuff. And they were just like, he'd been growing unhappy doing just games coverage, and sort of the way Kind of Funny was shaping up to be was not what his vision was, and he wanted to do more politics stuff. And then, and
Mm-hmm.
he like got made like so many national news stories. Like he got on Fox News, he got on Glenn Beck, he got on the Joe Rogan show, he got on the the Rubin Report, and he got on all of these things and explained his sort of side of the story. And it was just like, if anybody has a grudge against somebody and there's an ounce, like you said, an ounce of weakness, it's like, let's fucking put the witch to the thing and burn them down.
Exactly what it is too. And and to me, like, I knew about I'm a Kind of Funny. I'm a best friend. I love Kind of Funny.
I've met Greg Miller this last summer at PAX.
Yeah. I have a producer / seducer T-shirt because I'm technically a producer for RNG, so I think it's just funny to have. And like I heard about it.
Nick Scarpino is great.
Yeah, I love. It kind of hurt for me because I'm a Beyond fan too.
Yeah,
and hearing Greg and not hearing Colin, it's kind of like I mean, I don't want to equate us to that, but it's kind of like now us. You know what I mean? Or Raven and I not hearing. You know, I'm sure some people think it's weird when they listen if they listen to RNG and listen to this. You know, listen to Fork that they hear my voice and then they don't hear Raven come in.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like, you know, Raven and I are at odds with each other, but when you hear the story, it was just a joke. Like he just made a joke. If a comic made it, no one would say a damn word. But
Yeah, and
because
see,
he was him,
and that's a thing that comes up all the time, which is if a comic, comedian had made that joke, if Robin Williams had made that joke, nobody would have batted a fucking eye. So, I don't know. We don't know what's true and what's not true in regards to Kevin Spacey. And, none of us knows the whole story, So, and maybe we never really will know. But I think at the end of the day, the way America has gotten at the moment is, to jump on shit and destroy things, which is a really terrible mentality for the country, to be honest. Like it's just terrible, and we gotten way too politicky here. We need to bring this back because, but at the same time, it is entertainment, and that's how I'm sneaking that by my own rule there of no religion in politics.
Well, we're not really getting too deep into politics. It's just kind of the way the culture is right now in our country.
Well, and you look at it on anything. You look at like Mass Effect Andromeda. They got fucking punished for air quotes terrible facial animation. And they're just trying to make a fucking video game, and it's like, but they got like fucking flamed for it, to the point where that team now got relegated to being a B team now. They got fucking shitbagged, and and it kind of wasn't fair. Like you make one bad game and suddenly you're and I'm not saying it's a bad game. Like I've played about 5 hours of it so far, and I think it's perfectly fine as a Mass Effect game. Like I don't have much problems with it. Dialogue's a little wonky sometimes, but other than that, out of 5 hours so far, it's good. I mean, it's not like I'm playing fucking, E.T. Gone Home.
Oh God.
On was it the NES or the Atari or whatever, the one that got buried in a landfill because nobody bought it. You know what I mean? Like. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, God. Sorry.
Yeah. But in good entertainment news, and I'll only talk about it a little bit because I usually talk about it on my Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. So I saw Thor Ragnarok last night. And I have never seen a film from this Takia Watia guy. He's like a New Zealander. But he's also apparently like he's done a bunch of comedy movies and he's done drama stuff, and he's a comedian. I guess he's a very well-known comedian in New Zealand. And Thor Ragnarok is so it's so fucking funny. Personally, like for the type of humor that they were doing, I honestly thought it was funnier than Guardians of the Galaxy. And funnier than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like the type of humor in Thor Ragnarok is just fucking laugh out loud, awkward moments. Like Chris Hemsworth like brought it as far as his comedian talents go, as well as Hulk and particularly other Avengers who may make cameos, which I'm not going to spoil. Like everybody was fucking funny in that movie. Like even Hela Kate Blanchett, who's playing the goddess of death. Like in the trailers, like she's badass and she's menacing and she's totally that in the movie, but she's also like really funny. Like slight spoilers. Like there's like a scene and she's in front of like a bunch of people and she's talking about like murdering them all if she doesn't get what she wants. And then somebody steps forward and is like, well, we ain't gonna do it. And then she's like, are you serious? Did you not hear the part where I said I was going to kill each and every one? She's like, was nobody paying attention? Like, and she just drops the sort of like malevolent thing. She's just like, God, like freaking really? You guys aren't taking me? Like, it was fucking hilarious. And like it's just a really fucking funny movie. And there's actually a ton of new characters. There's this one new guy uh called Korg, and he's basically like this bluish rock creature.
Hmm.
And I think he is maybe now my favorite fucking character in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's the fucking funniest fucking thing I have ever seen in a long time. Like he's really fucking funny. Like, oh my god. Like I was dying. I was dying laughing in the theater at like every time that guy came on screen, and like just his sort of like he's so completely different than any other character I've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's fantastic.
Now, I haven't seen the movie, obviously.
Mhm.
Uh, but my question is this: Korg sounds a lot like the rock creature from the Planet Hulk series. I mean, he wasn't blue, but there was a rock creature that became friends with Hulk in the Planet Hulk comic run.
I,
Uh,
I
oh, go ahead.
vaguely recall that, and I don't think he's like that.
Okay. Also, is Hela gonna be going deep in the comics here? Thanos is in love with Death.
Uh-huh.
Is Hela gonna be that character in the Infinity Wars
Having
series?
having seen the movie, I honestly can't say. And not because I've seen the movie, but like I don't know.
Okay.
Like I
All right.
literally don't know. It could be that. It could be, you know, death as a entity,
Mm-hmm.
a female entity in the Marvel universe. Could be somebody different. Might be her again. Might not be. Don't
Okay.
know.
I didn't know if they maybe mentioned it or there was a stinger or whatever. Because I
Nope.
obviously,
Nope.
Marvel loves to give you stingers, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Uh, don't know. Couldn't say.
I,
Literally, I don't have enough data to make an accurate thing. I will say, um, Hela's origin, I believe. Nobody quote me on this because I got no Marvel backup here. Um, her her origins are different than the one in the comics.
okay.
And I'll leave it at that. But there's also some, without spoilers, there's like a set of three actors that never in 100,000 years would I have ever guessed would be in a Marvel movie, let alone a cameo, because they're like big fucking name actors that could like lead their own Marvel movie, and they're just in it for like a joke cameo gag in this movie. And I couldn't. I like turned to my Jessica in the theater. I'm like, holy fucking shit! It's blah actor, and it's yeah, just the shit that they get away with in that movie is fantastic, and it has like this total like everything's really comedic. The pacing is really fast. It's just super, super fun. I'm super impressed with it. It's almost like it's kind of like remember, uh, Thor: The Dark World,
Yeah.
and remember like the comedy moments in Thor: The Dark World where he's like doing stuff with the hammer or he's making fun of stuff on Earth or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or something's going on with Loki. Like so, just imagine that, but set in a more kind of Guardians of the Galaxy sort of setting because it's way more intergalactic, spacey, and aliens and stuff. Um, and then like mix that with like I don't know, just like really good, well written humor. Like it's really good, and even fucking Jeff Goldblum in the movie is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I love Jeff Goldblum as an actor.
Yeah, he's
It's like
actually
if
he's actually in it a good chunk. I was
okay.
surprised. He's in it a good chunk, and he's very funny. He has like this assistant, like gruff chick or whatever, and he's like talking to someone, and he's like trying to get information out of him, and she like hands him like this stick that like melts people basically, and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you handing me an incinerator stick? Like I'm not gonna kill them. Like I'm just trying to get information. She's like, and he's like, "What's the matter with you? You're always about trying to kill people, or whatever." Like he's totally. I mean, he's 100% Jeff Goldblum. Like it's like 110% Jeff Goldblum if he was like the ruler of a planet, basically. It's great.
Very cool.
It's fucking great.
I watched Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You saw all of season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched season 1 and then I watched season 2.
Like this month?
Yeah.
Okay. Had you seen season 1 before?
No.
Okay. What is your opinion of the show now?
I not. I mean, can I say it's a good show? Can I see why people enjoy it? Yes. I didn't like it.
Okay. That's fair to say.
I do understand. Like, I dug the fact that the Gorgon was the first monster, and then the new monster is now the Mind Flayer. I like that, being a D&D Pathfinder nerd. I like that. I dig how God, I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name is Bill, in the character Bill. He's in season 2. He talked to the kid. He mentioned that he's from Maine. This is an Easter egg, like a motherfucker, that he mentioned. I called it that he was from Maine, and that he was tormented by an evil clown, and
what?
Yeah,
I don't remember this in the show. Was it season 1 or season 2?
Season 2. The guy who was he messing with? I think he was banging the mom, messing with the mom, hit the main character's mom.
Oh, you mean Sean Astin?
That's the character's name.
Samwise Genji.
Samwise. I was like pulling through. It was like the Minority Report. I was doing the hand motions trying to find like the name of a character to jump in. He mentions when the kid is possessed by the darkness. That's what obviously I don't care. Like, I'm not into it because I don't know the characters' names. I can name you every single character in Game of Thrones because I'm deep into it. He mentions that he's from Maine, and that when he was younger, he was terrorized by an evil clown. And everybody's now like, I was like, was that an It Easter egg? Is this in the same universe as It? Because that would be kind of dope if It was from the Upside Down, but it's really from the Deadlights. We all know that.
Sure, whatever Stephen King knowledge you just said that I don't understand. Yeah, that.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm kind of deep into it. Sorry. Other than that, man, I've been real. I everybody was complaining about how I'm not into it and all that, so I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I gave it a shot. I sat through it all. I'm not upset that I did. I mean, it was a good show, yeah, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like Lost either. Everybody gets on me about that one.
Okay, well, I see.
Yeah.
See, I don't begrudge people who don't like Lost because not everybody does, and I get why they wouldn't. The type of Lost people that I hate is the people who like watch the entire series and love it up until the final episode, and then they're just like, oh, "Fuck that show," and I'm like, "You're crazy."
Yeah, I
can't. If it's not your type
of
show, it's not your type of show. That's fine.
Yeah. Like I said, I gave it a shot. I can see why it's good. That kind of thing. Other than that, yeah, man, just the basic shows my girlfriend and I are watching. I'm starting to watch MasterChef Canada now because why not?
Fair enough.
So yeah, other than that, man, that's it.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't really have much to say on entertainment other than Thor Ragnarok was the big thing. I mean, I finished Stranger Things season 2. I liked it. I didn't think it was as strong as season 1. But I'm excited for where it could go for the remaining 2 seasons that it has. I'm looking forward to Justice League next. I know it's going to be, I don't know, it'll be interesting since, Joss Whedon took over the movie late into the game. It'll be interesting to see how it is and how it ends up and whatnot. And just, mainly I just hope it's a good ride, at this point. Because at this point, with the DC cinematic universe, I'm just like, okay, just show me a good time. Just fucking try hard, but don't try so serious,
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's I got come up. I will say though, I was a big fan of the book, um, of Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Really looking forward to that movie. That's got like every fucking famous person ever in it. And I think that comes out in the next couple weeks. Totally gonna see it. It's got fucking everybody from like Johnny Depp to, um, fucking I don't know. I'd have to look up all the names because I'm going fuzzy on everything. I haven't had enough coffee yet. God damn it. Yeah, I guess that brings us to technology.
Yeah, man.
And the only thing I got for that is something I found just while we were talking about this show, which is I guess there's a CGI sci-fi short film that was created randomly generated by a computer.
Another one?
Oh, well, I mean, it's like visual. Like it's not just like it's not like they filmed it. It's like it's made by a computer. It's not made by an AI.
Okay.
The article talks about this artist called Julius Horst. He says it happens that I'm a really lazy animator, and so he relied on complex mathematical fractal patterns to automatically generate an alien world and cities in the film. The city's called Fractal with some extra A's and K's in there. I'm playing the video now. I'll shoot you a link here. And it's like 3 minutes long, basically. And it's fucking gorgeous, is what I'm looking at. Like it starts off in space, and there's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, really. Like it's like crystal cities and structures, and it's really beautiful. It almost reminds me of something that's made out of like etched metal or resin or something, and it's just really beautiful, really really beautiful. But it's cool because I mean, you know, while it is designed, he designed it in a lazy fashion, so it does have a very computer. I mean, it's made in computer, but I mean, I don't know, it looks cool. Check it out. Film's called Fractal, Fraktal, RTAAL. It's cool. It's beautiful looking. I don't have anything to say about technology because I already talked about the Xbox One X, which I guess my girlfriend is conniving to force me to get. Still looking forward to my iPhone X. Yeah. There's teardowns of the iPhone X this week, and it apparently has 2 batteries in it, which is a first for an iPhone. And I was talking about that with my coworker, who's has an actual engineering degree, and he pointed out that having 2 batteries in a phone can help with both redundancy and heat dissipation. Because the rumor is from consumers is that the iPhone 10 runs really fucking hot. Because it's like as powerful as a low end MacBook Pro spec'd out from 2017, which is insane.
Yeah.
They also discovered that the motherboard is 2 motherboards like flipped on top of each other. Like we've had like computer boards where there's like chips on both sides of a board. But this is 2 boards on top of each other with the chips arranged so they're like 2 wafers of Lego bricks like connecting on top of each other. So that's, I don't know, that's interesting from a design standpoint, I guess. Yeah, what do you got about technology? We'll wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, I see the film. I'm gonna watch it when we get off the air, and other than that, I'm kind of just I back off when it comes to technology. I'm just kind of in a holding pattern right now until I can get my iPhone X.
Yeah, are you gonna get one?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the update.
Or do
As soon
you
as I can get the upgrade, I will.
you do the next plan where it's like you pay off the phone and then you get the free upgrade on the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you like a way out on that or no?
Not too far. I mean, yeah, a little far, but not super.
Basically, when you get it, you'll get it the next day versus me who has to wait for the fucking thing to roll off the factory line.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What type of iPhone do you have now?
I have the 7X.
Oh, okay.
The new big one until the 8 comes out.
So well, I mean the 8 is out, but
yeah, you know what I meant.
So you know that the X is slightly smaller than a 7S, right?
Yeah.
Even though I guess screen-wise it'll be technically bigger,
which I'm okay with because I'm a screen whore.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of another Fork in Your podcast. I hope you have enjoyed it, listeners. Slash whatever listeners have bled over from the RNG podcast, of which I sometimes shamelessly plug the show on the Discord there. Where the fuck is my show notes? I can't find my show notes. That's not good. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this has been the Fork in Your podcast. Remember to give us a review on iTunes or wherever you download this podcast from. And don't forget, you can connect with us on social media with, at, on, or through www.facebook.com/the Fork in Your Ear podcast. You can tweet at us with our Twitter handle, which is also our catchphrase, which is Get Forked. That's Get Forked Pod there. Any tweets, questions, comments, or concerns. You can email us the Fork in Your Ear podcast at gmail.com. We're, of course, on iTunes and everywhere else. And I wrote a book called The Citadel Arrival by Tim K. Trotter. Well, that's me. Available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Get a free preview download when you visit those stores. It's a short story, only 160 to 190 pages, depending on your screen size. Again, that's $2.99 on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore. So buy a book and support this show because I don't have a Patreon. So it would be good if you did that. Additionally, if you want more podcasts, but different subjects, there's, of course, Mike's The RNG podcast available. Fill in the blanks, Mike.
On iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcast, we are there. You can find us on Twitter at the RNG Cast. You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. You can email the RNG Cast, therngcast.com. therngcast@gmail.com. There you go, Tim. I was waiting for you to set me up. I was ready like a volleyball player.
There you go.
He's coming.
Sweet. Of course, you can find all of our stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. I'm on Twitter, Tim_T. I also have a Twitch, Tim_KA_Trotter. You can check that out. Or me on PSN, Linux is the Demon, or Xbox Live, Tim_T. Additionally, I do, as I've said many times, I do podcast Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. We're sort of playing catch up because there's too many Marvel shows to catch up with at the moment. We've been doing coverage on Fox's The Gifted, which is an amazing X-Men TV series, and everybody should check it out. We're lagging behind on Inhumans, although one of our co-hosts has seen it and actually likes it, despite its negative thing. One of my co-hosts reminded me we still haven't fucking finished our coverage of Legion, which came out in May. So I need to backtrack and do that shit. And I need to do it quickly because Punisher on Netflix comes out 17th, and then The Runaways on Hulu comes out shortly after that. In addition to, of course, a special podcast for Thor Ragnarok with spoilers and whatnot. So without any further ado, get forked, kids. I'm Tim K. Trotter signing off. The Citadel Arrival is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
There you go.
That's my closing. That's just how I say I'm out. Like,
Wow.
It's just what I was thinking if you ever wanted to do a DC podcast, for God's sakes.
I thought about it, but I'm so many seasons behind on every DC TV show. It's not even funny now.
Well, the title could be Get Dicked, Get D-Seed, apostrophe D.
Oh my God. That's such a good name.
Cheeky name. Yeah. By the way, I'm sitting in Fortnite waiting.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
I don't know how you party up or anything.
Yeah. Give me just a second. All my shit's off.
That's cool. It says Save the World or Battle Royale. If I click on Battle Royale, will it start me or will it take me?
No. It'll take you to a lobby. You have to go there anyway. So the in-game party system, because it is early access, is still broken.
Oh, great.
So the only way to join your friends is to be sitting in the lobby in Battle Royale and then join through party chat. It works though every time. It's not like that's not like broken. It's just they don't have an in-game. I mean, they do have an in-game list, but it doesn't work.
Okay, so I can sit in the lobby. So sitting in the lobby right now because it says lobby, locker, all that good stuff. So I can I'm good, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'll be on in just a second.
All right, brother.
Yeah. So my screw that holds my mic in the right place, I think, has screwed its last screw.
Oh
wow. I need to like it's on I have it on like a mic stand, but then it's got like a pipe and it rotates, right? And usually there's a screw that I tighten. And it's not doing that anymore. So I need to maybe I can prop this up with a box. Is a box gonna? How do I do this? Well, that's not terrible. As long as I don't bump it, I guess.
Nah, it's not bad.
Let's see. So I'm a little bit off my usual angle here. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit louder than normal, but that's never a bad thing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can. I did do a rising tide this week, so the gain might have been up. Let's see. Let me go down. How is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it too quiet?
No. You sound okay.
Okay. If I go up just a hair, how's that?
About the same. So yeah, you're good.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
How's that? About the same.
Fair enough. So I have absolutely no plan. I think I'm just gonna wing it.
I mean, fuck it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the best way to do it sometimes, just to sling it and bang it, right?
Are you sure? I guess. Um, how's your weekend been going?
So it's going pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah. How was
Yeah, it
your morning RNG?
was good. Went well.
Yeah.
Smooth. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to listen to last week's, but I literally couldn't hear it while I was
Yeah.
driving, and I was like, okay. But like you said, I guess you only have one feed of audio that you record.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So.
I tried to get one that does a multi-track feed, and it separates it left ear, right ear,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really annoying to me.
I mean,
Like
I suppose you could overcome that by making them mono, but yeah, that's kind of weird.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very, very weird, actually.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, let's see. I was just looking online quickly to see if the call recorder that I use, if they make a Windows version. Do they make a Windows version?
what do you use?
It's literally called Call Recorder for Skype. It's made by Ecamm Networks. I don't think they have it for Windows. Doesn't look like it. That doesn't help you.
Not at all.
I find it hard to believe though that somebody on Windows doesn't have the same exact product.
Yeah. How's my volume?
Talk a little more. Let me pay attention to the levels.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
This sounds about normal.
Well, I was quiet last week, like you said, so.
Were you?
Well, not on this, but on RNG.
Oh, yeah, but like you said, the guy you were recording was louder, as was Raven, but you overall were quiet as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall, like the whole show was quiet, like not just you.
Well, that's not going to happen this week.
Okay.
Because I am looking straight at the wave file, and it is not little.
Lovely. Let's see. Let me pull up a thing.
Plus, I ran it through a leveler.
Nice.
So.
Okie dokie. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
Do you have an airplane going over your house?
I do.
Wow, I can hear that so well for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's really, really close too.
Oh, do you live near an airport?
Well, yeah, Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like,
I live between there's like a tiny little airport, like prop jets and stuff right near my house. And then like 15 miles west of me is Fort Lewis, which is a joint base with the Air Force, and it's a huge ass. I think it's one of the biggest Army Air Force bases on the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. It's a big one.
Yeah.
So I'll get the fucking troop carriers coming back.
Yeah,
Iraq and whatnot. Yeah,
C-130s.
Yeah, those fuckers rattle the
C-130s.
house.
Yeah, they crack windshields.
Yeah, they're big. They're real big.
Also, not comfortable to sit in for 18 hours.
I assume you speak from experience.
Yeah, been in a few of them.
Yeah. I mean, what's the logic behind that? Is it just like you can carry more troops that way, or?
Yeah, they're troop carriers and they're cargo carriers. So they do, two functions at once.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking on a plane with a fucking, looking at a goddamn Jeep.
Yeah.
That's a little nerve-wracking, but other than that, yeah, it's...
I mean, I assume it's like chained down or some shit.
Yeah, but still, chains can break.
Fair enough. Alrighty, let's do this. Cut in.